Hi there, and welcome back to engVid. In this video, you are going to learn how to pronounce some of the harder to pronounce places in the UK. So useful if you're planning a trip here, or if you're doing an IELTS speaking test and would like to refer to places in the UK. Let's have a look at some guidelines, and then a little bit later we're going to look at some of the places that don't quite fit the rules. So, with a place ending with borough or burr, you would expect it to sound borough or burg. But that's not what happens. It's normally shortened to something like bruh. For example, Edinburgh, 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 Edinburgh. Got it? Okay, not Edinburgh, okay? Second one, with a place ending in cester, you shorten it to ster. For example, it's not Bicester, it's Bicester. Bicester. There is an exception here with Cirencester, which is a lovely place out in the west of England. Cirencester, not Cirencester. Okay, Cirencester. That's an exception there. Next, on to counties. So a county, where the UK is divided up into different regions called counties. Lots of these end with shire. The shire, the countryside. But we pronounce it actually sh. For example, Devonshire, Devonshire, not Devonshire. This one is particularly tricky to pronounce. Worcestershire, Worcestershire. So basically what we're doing is we're going Worc, and then we're abbreviating that, Worcester, Worcestershire. And then we're putting a U in here, Worcestershire. You still with me? Good stuff, keep the concentration. Now, which often goes to itch, so we're just going to be taking out that W there. Which goes to itch. Norwich. Norwich. It's not Norwich, okay? Norwich. It's a lovely place in the east of England, beautiful cathedral, and my uncle's an estate agent, so go and say hi. On to places ending in mouth. Obviously going to be places by the sea. For example, can you spot my little mistake here? Shouldn't be an F, it should be a TH. A subtle difference, but important to get right. So it's tin muth, not tin mouth. Okay, tin muth. It's a shorter vowel sound. We're not doing the sort of the O, it's a tin muth. So that's down in Devon, very scenic place in the southwest of the UK. Ham goes to For example, it's not Durham, it's Durham. So you're effectively losing that H. Durham. Beautiful place in the northeast of England, very strong university in Durham. Right, wick goes to ick. For example, if I put the whole spelling of Berwick upon Tweed, you can see that we are missing this W out. So it becomes Berwick upon Tweed. Nice coastal town again near the border with Scotland in the northeast of the UK. Okay, let's have a look at a few more anomalies, some exceptions to the rules. I'm also going to be pointing out, with these exceptions, some excellent places to visit in the UK. There's so many different exceptions, but the places listed here are worth checking out if you're coming to the UK. Tool. You would expect it to say quay, something like that, but it's actually Torquay, Torquay, and the same would apply for New Quay. This place in Norfolk, you might expect it to be Hunstanton, but actually you miss out the tan and it becomes Hunston. This is a place I went on honeymoon down in Cornwall. What do you think it says? Mousehole? It's not. It's Mousehole, a lovely fishing village down in Cornwall. Again in Cornwall, what do you think? Foy? Foy. Okay, maybe it's helpful to think of there being no W. Hopefully most of you have heard of this university town in the east of England. It's not Cambridge, it's Cambridge. Now down in Dorset we have Beminster. Okay, it's not Beminster, it's Beminster. On the south coast of England, it might look like it's called Bosham, but it's actually Bosham. Bosham, quite fun to say that one. Bosham, very exclusive place down on the south coast. I had a mud fight there before a wedding and then smelt quite bad during the wedding. This is where my granny lives. It's not Bungay, it's Bungay. Bungay. Not a huge amount recommending a trip to Bungay unless you're going to go and visit my gran and take her some cake. This is in Devon. Bridestow? No, it's Bridestow. Bridestow. Now, two colleges at Cambridge and at Oxford. You might think it's called Magdalen, but we actually pronounce it Magdalen. Magdalen College. Some wonderful academics that have graduated from there. Now moving on to Scotland and Wales. We could do a whole another video on Scottish and Welsh pronunciation, but just time for two in this video. What do you think this is pronounced? Kirkcudbright? It's actually Kirkcudbright. Kirkcudbright. And now in Wales, you look at a map of Wales and there'll be all sorts of places you'll have no idea how to pronounce, but just one surprising one for this video. What do you think? Llandudno? It's actually Llandudno. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Do remember to do the quiz afterwards to test your pronunciation. And above all, try to come and visit the UK and speak to locals and try out your new pronunciation. Thank you. Goodbye.